We begin with the latest executive order signed by President Bongbong Marcos. The chief executive approved a year-long moratorium on amortization payments and interest on loans of agrarian reform beneficiaries. EO number 4 covers agricultural lands distributed by the government under the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or CARP. The Agrarian Reform Department sees its development as a fulfillment of the President's promise to help free farmers from debt. Joining us now is DAR Undersecretary Mylene for all the details. Yusek, thank you so much for joining us. Share with us how many farmers will be benefiting from this year-long moratorium. Yusek, you're on mute. If you could please unmute yourself.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So, how many farmers? How many thousands? How many tens of thousands of farmers will benefit?
Well, the figure given to us by the Land Bank is 655,197 agrarian reform beneficiaries will be benefited by the one-year amortization moratorium. And this covers 1.18 million hectares. Yun ang binigay sa amin na figure ng Land Bank because they're in charge of the Agrarian Reform Receivable System na nagmo-monitor at saka nagmamanage ng amortizations ng ating agrarian reform beneficiaries.
So, Yusek, with this one-year moratorium on land amortization and interest payments, on the average, how much money will this save farmers so they can develop their farms?
It's not, well, as I said, as I informed your staff kanina, wala sa akin yung details ng figures on how much will be in terms of pesos and cents yung makaka-benefit yung mga farmers because I'm at home.
Okay.
I just I screamed but at the end of the day, the idea is mabigat kasi ang amortization sa ordinaryong magsasaka. Diba? Kahit ang babayaran niya sa isang taon ay let's say about 5,000 pesos or 10,000 pesos, mabigat yun lalong-lalo na at nagdumaan tayo sa pandemya. This moratorium is actually a second part of the parang space given by government for our farmers kasi if you recall sa bayanihan na napas to help our people during the pandemic, may nailagay din doon na provision on a moratorium on the payment of amortizations by agrarian reform farmers. Pero nagpass na yon, natapos na yon yung effectivity ng bayanihan 1 and 2. Mabigat pa rin naman kasi 'di ba, if you are also in the news, mataas ang presyo ng abono, mataas ang presyo ng mga farm inputs, and they find it hard to continue tilling their lands with high prices, and nahihirap sila nung panahon ng pandemya. So this is another assistance in parang ayuda in the form of giving them space in terms of moratorium.
And it's not only Yusek, I'd like to jump in. It's not only the farmers being hurt by the pandemic, but also by the numerous number of storms and typhoons that also hit the country.
Yung climate, everything else.
Yes.
Sama-sama kasi hirap sila. I think you can appreciate because you're in the news, you're the ones giving out the news, yung maraming nasagasaan ang crops, maraming hindi makapagtanim, maraming nawalan ng pambili ng binhi, ng abono, and other farm implements. Hindi talaga kaya.
Yes.
But this is seen as part, parang first introduction ng mas malaking tulong na ibibigay sa agrarian reform beneficiaries. The ultimate end is condoning all amortizations.
Okay, so that
take them out of this debt.
Okay.
Because mabigat na bit-bit nila. Okay?
So
this is the
Yusek, I'd like to ask you a follow-up question. No? So what happens next after the one-year moratorium? Is that the time that Congress hopefully will pass a law to condone all the debts?
That's what we are. Yes, that's what we are. We are working frenetically for, because sana naman bago matapos ng moratorium, may pasa yung batas condoning their amortizations, including unpaid interests and surcharges and those na hindi pa nakakapagbayad. Yung mga meron ng mga kasi as of now, maraming mga hindi nakapagbayad, napatungan na sila ng interest, napatungan na sila ng surcharges. So we have submitted draft condonation bill to Congress for study by our legislators, and we are very happy because karamihan sa kanila welcome the idea, but they have different versions of the bill. We are happy, however, na yung mga tinatawag naming essentials of a condonation bill is being carried by most of those who have sponsored condonation bills in the House of Representatives and in the Senate.
But Yusek,
hopefully in the year.
Yusek, the amount of money that hopefully this bill wants to condone is a lot. It's a huge amount. $58 billion.
Yes, it is $58 billion.
But can
that is not well. For one, it's a huge amount of money.
But Yusek,
given where we are, no?
But you said, can the government condone such a huge amount? Because we're also strapped for cash. We also need the money to fund other projects of the government.
Yes. But remember, yung 58 billion na expense for the whole condonation program is not going to be spent in one go. The program is supposed to run for 5 years. It's supposed to be for 5 years.
Right.
Kasi isa-isahin mo yung may proseso, yung ipoproseso mo yung i-compute mo bawat isa eh. Yung nasa system na nga ng Land Bank, marami na yon, di ba? That's about more than 655,000, more than 800,000 pala na agrarian reform beneficiaries. So it is not going to be a one-year, one-time expenditure of 58 billion pesos. It is going to be programmed across a period of about 4 to 5 years.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us your insights. And of course, the hope is that this agrarian reform debts will be condoned before the end of the year-long moratorium.
Hopefully.
Agrarian Reform Undersecretary Mylene.